Bum, bum. Alright, time for a review of Silent Hill 2 Remake. I will preface this that I never played the original. I only just played my first Silent Hill game uh 2 weeks ago. Uh um so I don't know much about the lore. I can't be like, oh, this holds true to the original because I don't know. Not something I know. Um, so this is all based just on my first time experiencing Silent Hill 2 remake, as its own standalone story, essentially, like no preface for it really. I'm aware of. Um, and we'll start from there. Um, ah, okay. As always, for all my reviews, I always start with the cons. I don't have a lot for this game, honestly. I really enjoyed it. I just the only issue I really had. Sorry, I just woke up. I'm a bit tired. Is that there's some performance issues, mostly when you're in the town, um, like in the fog, super bad. There's a bad stutter, like really bad, like choppiness to it. Um, really kind of takes away from everything else. But and then there's just like small stars in general that come, but it's only really in like the really big open places where there's like fog or anything like that. But once I got into like the apartment complex, the hospital, the prison, the other world, there wasn't that much stutter. Besides when like big like actiony scenes happened where um like crumbling wall and stuff. Um, that's it. And then my other one, like, it's not really that big of a deal because um difficulty is always like something hard to talk about. Uh, Cause like difficulty, like the topic of difficulty is always a thing. I'm not trying to like stroke my ego or anything like that. Um, I did not find the standard difficulty hard in the slightest. Like the puzzles weren't hard, and the combat wasn't hard at all. Um, it was like way too easy. Um, it just I went through the whole game without dying. And I can even pull up a picture to prove that I went through it without dying. Till I kind of proved my point. Yes. But yeah, this is a screenshot of my result page. Um, Died 0 times. Um, it's just I didn't find the combat that hard, especially once you got your gun. It was like your pistol. It was kind of like over at that point. Okay. Oh, any semblance of difficulty because, like, sure, um, ammo is limited, but there's like super easy ways to like take down enemies. Like, if you just aim at the knees, bring them down to like kind of like a kneeled position, and you hit them like once or twice with the board or the steel pipe, and it's over. It's super easy. So I didn't really have any real issues with combat. There wasn't anything that I was like, oh no. You know, it just wasn't difficult, and it could, be challenging for other people. You know, the puzzles could be difficult. Um, it could just be the fact that I play a lot of games, and I have like I play a lot of puzzle games in my free time and stuff like that. So it could just be my I have a wider like a better standing point to start with, Um but yeah, I didn't find it that difficult. Um and I will say that the hard difficulty, um it's like there's a significant difference both in combat and puzzle work. Granted, I've only played like 30-ish minutes of a new game plus. So like I haven't got like a full playthrough on hard/hard. Um, so like I'm not 100% like certain if it would still be the same across the board that way. But there's definitely a difference in combat and puzzle work based on the hard difficulty, and it is a bit tougher. Enemies, I think, deal more damage, or James just has less health in general. I haven't got to a point where I got the gun yet, so I'm not certain if that would still be the case if I got the gun. Like, probably take a bit more shots. You might not find as much ammo. So I ran through standard with like at the end, my ammo count was kind of low just because the boss fight. But leading up to the end, I had like 90 handgun rounds. Um, I had like 20 shotgun rounds and maybe like 6 rifle rounds. I was kind of using my rifle a lot more near the very end because uh, just to do high damage to bosses. But also, I was saying that about um 20 health tonics and about 20 syringes. As you could just see, like based on the pop up on the my gameplay that I have going on in the back, I had like almost 20 of each. Like I was just saying pretty the whole time. So it just standard wasn't difficult, at least not to me. You should, like, put it in the comments whether you had like a difficult time or not on standard difficulty. Um, so I'm not trying to stroke my ego and be like, oh, I die 0 times. Oh, I'm so good at the game. No, I could care less. I just I was just using stats to like kind of prove my point, but difficulty is super subjective. Um, because there's real no there isn't a real like way to make a stance on it because it's experience based. Like everybody's experience is different. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I keep yawning again. I just woke up. Anyways, on to the pros of Silent Hill 2 remake. I have a bunch. I have a wide variety of topics. Points because though I just really enjoyed the game, and so there was a lot of good. It might be a bit more like cons that I haven't like fully thought up yet. Um, but like I didn't really run into too much problems. Most of it was just performance based, and that could just be either my own personal settings or the fact that the game does just stutter in the fog. Uh, it I've seen people playing it. Like I watched a few streams, and a few people I've seen play it had the same stutter problem and like fog and stuff. So it wasn't just me. Um, Seen a few review videos. People were having the same problem. Um, but anyways, again, onto the pros. I'm starting to ramble. Um, the first point I would like to make that even though it stutters when you're in the fog in the game is amazing and really sets the tone for the game. The mysteriousness of Silent Hill. I know it's like a staple in the series, the fog, obviously, but like it's so good and like it way it hides enemies and hides like you constantly checking your map to see where you're going. You know, it it's so cool. It's such a like. I don't remember if this game was made in Unreal or not. But it super cool. I don't know. I love the setting of Silent Hill. I in general, in like even in real life, I love fog. I love when the world is encased by fog and you can hardly see in front of you. There's that eerie stillness in the air. You know, you just not you can't see what's going on. You know, there's stuff around. Usually when it's foggy out, it's pretty quiet because it's like early morning or like late night. You know, it's super cool. I love that aspect. And the fog in this game is really good. Um, and my next point is that the music and like sound design of like the environment is amazing in this. It like the sounds of the creatures around you, the music that plays in the background, it sends chills down your spine. Like it puts in a like it touches base with a primal fear that all humans have, just slightly. This unsettled like unsettledness of the unknown and the obscure, especially with the fog or like in tight dark corners where all you have it's only way you can see is with your flashlight. Um, and it's so good. I think from what I heard that they had the guy who made the music in the original Silent Hill 2 back again to make the music for Silent Hill 2 remake. And that's really awesome. Um and obviously he did a fantastic job the second time around. It's so good. It pulls you in, it uh like it's eerie. It's not even like um the music is just like um eerie and dark and very how can I word this um eldritch. I don't know. I think that might be the best way to put it. Um, and it just pulls you in. It's so immersive. Um, and it makes you think like, oh, what's around the next corner? And the music really sets that in. Um, and my next point is the voice acting is great. Um, James sounds just like a regular dude, you know, who's gone to a town to remember his wife or find his wife, and he's just you can hear the guilt, the sorrow in his voice when like he talks to other characters about like trying to find his wife or things like that. It's so expressive and emotive, and they did such an amazing job with the characters, how they act, um, how the and the voice actors did an amazing job voicing these characters. Um, it it's just so expressive, and you don't really see that a lot with games now. Like, well, you can, maybe you can. You can say that. A lot of games are a lot. They use mocap, so like it's getting more expressive by day. But like a lot of voice actors can't really A lot of voice actors for some games that are like triple A's aren't that great. But this game they did a fantastic job. Can't, I didn't look into whether or not they used the same guy who voice acted James prior. Um, but this is, I don't know, it's really cool. I like it. Um, and next point is that James is an amazing lead character. They don't make him very reactive. Which is great. That's kind of a good thing, especially in a horror game, because you don't want to pull out of the character's the player's immersiveness by like making a character be like over the top reactive to things. Like some games do that and it's bad. Like somebody like um just like there's gore and they're like, oh, what the fuck is that? Oh, or they're like just super dumb for no reason, and you're like, who the fuck? Like, I get it. I would imagine some people would react that way in real life, but in a video game that's trying to like pull you in with like music, sound design, um, the environmental design, the darkness, you know, and like really pull you in into this horror setting and put you in a state of fear, fear of the constant unknown. Um, it's not good to have a character that's like super all over the place, you know? And the fact that he isn't really lets the player put themselves in James' shoes and react the way um you feel like James would have reacted, you know, to the scenarios. Um and my next point is that I'm moving on to the combat a little bit here now. The combat doesn't feel janky. It feels very smooth. I don't know why I'm doing the Donald Trump thing. Very smooth. Um, it is very reactive. You're not stuck in animations, so you can animation cancel by dodging. So like if you go swing, you can like dodge instead of being stuck in an animation and getting either killed by it or taking damage when um you could have been more reactive about it, you know. Uh, Sorry. It's and it's so visceral. Like you can tell when you like hit a good hit because the enemy will fly. You know, like you hit them and they'll spin and like hit the ground, and then you can hit them more. Um, and I definitely think that James is a lot more reactive when it comes to combat. Like he you can tell that he's really exerting himself because there'll be times when you like hit an enemy and you James will be like, ugh! Like he'll like go like higher pitched like out of exertion, and like you can tell that he like put all his weight and like force behind it, or like he's letting out his frustration and fear of the monster he just dispatched, you know. it's it's so good. um it like as you can see, like it's super like smooth. The monsters react the way you would expect them to. uh if you do certain things like shoot them in the leg a few times, you'll stun them, they'll drop to a knee, and then you can finish them off with a good smack with your pipe, um or board, depending on where you are in the, which is awesome. You know, it very visceral, very reactive, and very um what's the best way to put it? Very, it has weight behind it. um you feel like you're actually swinging your weapon and hitting them with it, compared to where some games are like floaty with that. Um, Not that floaty is really bad. Oblivion was very floaty. Um, Granted, the combat in Oblivion wasn't great as it was old by far. But anyways, besides the point. I'm gonna move on to exploration a bit. Exploration feels great. There's secrets to be found. Um, between like memos and um finding pieces for puzzles. Like if say like the jukebox um in the Neely's bar. You can go to Neely's bar right away after you find the matchbox. But also, if you choose to explore, you can get the pieces of the puzzle of the jukebox before you even interact with it. And it's not like you have to go, say, to Neely's bar to like for like something to occur at those other locations for you to be able, get the pieces. No, you can just go there and like do the stuff and leave and come back. That's what I did with my first playthrough. I was just deeply exploring everywhere because I wanted to see what all around me because I don't know what kind of loot I need, and I wasn't sure if it was just going to be super linear. And they didn't make the game super linear. It's very explorative. There's a lot of like shortcuts you can find that will bring you back to an area you already explored. I think the best case of that occurring is in all the small areas, obviously. Like again, just the apartments, um, the hospital, and the prison. It's all like tight knit. There's a bunch of different paths that lead you back to where you like your safe area is. Either that, or they'll have just multiple safe areas for like puzzles that you can go to. Um, and the puzzles are great in the game. They're like I didn't have a hard time with them, but I play a lot of puzzle games. So like I have a very good like standing baseline on that. Um, but like there's you can like do stuff trial and error and get like where you want to get with that. But at the same time too, like um, this just isn't that. They're not difficult, but they're still good. They're still good puzzles, even though they're not difficult. Like they still serve a purpose. And still somewhat challenging in a way. Even more challenging on hard. I know the coin puzzle is a lot more um confusing on um hard puzzle difficulty compared to standard. Standard essentially tells you where the things should go. Like it's not that difficult to figure out, but on hard it's a lot more vague, I would say. I didn't get to that point yet, but I am watching Tio's game, go through and play Silent Hill, and I will tell you that he spends 50 fucking minutes trying to solve the coin puzzle. The first time I did it, I think it only took me 5. It wasn't that difficult in the slightest. Um, but yeah, he spent like 50 minutes trying to solve it. It was insane. Um, but yeah, the puzzles are great. There's a lot of I guess exploring your options, I would say, is probably the best way to put it. Like, um, it's not like super like tells you what it is. So there's trial and error. There's things that can help you. There's hints and stuff like from memos that you can find. Um, so it's not like it's too difficult, you know. Um, a lot of it is like fancy wordplay and things like that that kind of like point you in a direction that you want to look into, to get to where you need to be for the puzzle. Sorry, I'm starting to ramble. Um, and my next point is that the notes and memos really put together the story of what's kind of going on in the area that you find them in. They just kind of give a general idea of um none of it's like super crazy. It's more like how the place was before everything started going to shit. Before James got there, you know. Um, but like each area has a story and the memos and notes and like the interactables that you like find while exploring really tell the tale of what was going on. And things like that. So it's really cool. It really again adds to more of exploration. Um, and then the one thing that was really cool, like it's a small thing, but like it's a really cool thing. The ability to smash windows for loot and stuff like that. That's really cool. It's like the fact that and like the first time it happens, it doesn't really like it kind of tells you. But also at the same time, it does like first time because it tells you because it's part of it. Like you get it, it kind of tells you like, oh, just smash the window. Um, but afterwards, it doesn't really tell you like, hey, you can go smash car windows for loot or smash store windows for potential loot. You're not like looking at the glass and be like, oh, there's an item behind it. Maybe there's a key I have to find type thing. No, it's like I'll just break the glass. Um, and that's really cool. And what I noticed too, when you go back through Silent Hill later on, like back through the areas you've explored prior, um, all those smashed windows you smashed the first time around are still smashed, which is a fantastic touch. Like it's just something that most people probably won't notice, or if they do, they won't think much about it. Um, Granted, you could say that um it's probably a small thing. A lot of people it'll probably it happens in other games, you know, things like that. But like I don't know, that attention to detail is amazing, and I think that's a really cool thing for um a game to have. You know, I will say the monster design for this game is perfect. Every creature that gets introduced is creepy and gross, and they each have their own mechanic. Um, and like their own unique way of fighting. You can tell that too. It's not like um anything weird or different will occur. Um the enemies aren't really janky. They're generally pretty creepy. Between the um the slither dick guy who vomits all over the place, you know. Um that's gross and visceral. And then there's the um mutilated mannequin torso chick. Um, that's pretty interesting, and the fact that they like hide. I think most of my scares were those creatures just jumping at me from a corner. I didn't expect them from. Um, the nurses with the like glitching head going spazzing out, pretty creepy, and like seeing that from a distance as they like slowly walk toward you. No, pretty creepy and gross. Um, and the sound design for those creatures are fantastic as well. Like the vomiting one really sounds like it's like regurgitating like fluid all the time as it like walks on. I regurgitated, fake regurgitated so much I almost regurgitated. Gross. Anyways, I already talked about that. And um, all right, on to the final few points. It's really cool that the game offers multiple graphic settings for like stylization of like how you want to play the game. Initially, you get default in 90s, and then after you beat the game, you unlock multiple other forms of graphic styles, which is really cool. So you can experience the game in a bunch of new lights and see how it goes. On my second playthrough, I just again kept it at default. I think ultimately that's the experience I want to have, so I'm gonna keep it at default. I think the '90s one seems pretty cool. The black and white and red one, up graphic settings would be pretty cool. There's like this like really red version, and I don't think I could play it like that at all. Um, the fact that there's multiple endings is really cool. So far, a lot of Silent Hill games have had multiple endings. Well, at least the two I played has had multiple endings. Um, this game for sure has the most. It has 8, um, 6 of which are original endings, and then 2 the blooper added 2 additional endings to the game, um, which is cool. I think one of them too is supposed to replace the canon ending with like kind of the new canon ending, you know. Um, again, which is really cool. Um, but yeah, no. I really enjoyed my time with the game. I had a lot of fun. Um, reminds me of when I played the Resident Evil remakes. It has this very similar style. Um, and the gameplay plays about the same. I think at least the shooting. Um, I think Blooper outdid themselves with this game. It was quite the experience, and I'm glad I got to experience the, I would say, cult classic of its time. Um, I know there's like a pretty heavy following for at least Silent Hill 2 in out of all of them, Silent Hill 2 is the one with the most cult like following. Um and if I had played the original, I think I would feel that they did a great like job on the remake and made it very much I don't know. They just really did a good job. Um but other than that, I'll give you my review score. 9.7 out of 10. The only thing that really brings it down from a 10 out of 10 is the stuttering in the fog. Um, just a small performance issue. Honestly, otherwise it would have been a 10 out of 10 game. I really enjoyed it. It was such a great title to play. Probably don't play through and try and get maybe all the endings. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be streaming all of it, but I definitely plan to play more of it in my spare time. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Usually these review videos get rambly, or they're either they're super straight to the point, or they're like all over the place. So thank you for bearing with me. Be sure to leave a comment about what you thought about the game below. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube shit. And I will catch you guys next time. Toodles for now.